Yo, Andy here, CPM, the W.O.T podcast. How you all doing? No van blog today. We're going to walk. We've done a walking blog for a while. Good morning. Looks like it's going to rain, so I might have done the wrong thing here. Those clouds. Oh, pretty threatening, don't they? Very threatening indeed. How you all doing? Hope you're all well. Good grief, what's going on? I posted on X this morning, so I haven't used it for ages actually. It was along the lines of been in the markets, 4 years now, investing. What have I learnt? Well, the obvious thing is I'm continually learning, which is cool. But the thing that really stands out to me is I cannot believe how, well, I can believe it really, we have let money, so-called money, just let this car go by. Hope it's not the police. It's not. How we've let money become so integrated and so deep into our way of life, and over those 4 years I've seen no change. If anything, it's just got worse. We've become so dependent on something. It's driving away what I believe is probably real value in the morality of what human beings are away. It's becoming a curse. It's becoming a weed. It's integrating itself into society, and we're slowly losing what real value is to a human being. As a rule. And I don't know why that is. I'm a bit believer in it's not the case, but it all depends on where you spend most of your time. So that's a pretty scary thought. But it does make you think a bit. What have we done? So yeah, 4 years. Wow, where's that gone? And I am as guilty as everyone else. for going down a journey of wanting more. That's what we're supposed to do, isn't it? That's the narrative. If you've been watching the markets this last week or two with any intensity, all you see is doom and gloom, greed at its most powerful, manipulation if you believe that. Some people use these words by design. I get it. Logically it all makes sense. And I've noticed one of the big tells for me is when you see, you're wrapped up on social media, people talk about price more than anything. Look at the price of this, look at the price of that. Oh, the price is going down, the price is going up. No matter what you're into, no one's really expressing themselves in the asset, just price. So that's a tell. That means sentiment and emotion is getting, to me anyway, the way I see it, people are becoming a little bit desperate. Maybe they're gambling more. We're seeing that, what happened yesterday and Sunday in the Bitcoin space and the general crypto space. And I'd even say that in the space as a rule. Pardon me. More cars. Let these go by. You can have a look at the berries. Yeah. Everyone's talking about Bitcoin price go up. The hysteria of that. Why isn't the Bitcoin price moving? You listen. Observe it. It's talked about more. Gold, look at the price of gold. Yeah, I know a lot of people turn and say, well, that's the world we live in. Yes. Not disagreeing. I'm highlighting something. So it's Western society, don't know, generally speaking, witnessing the end of something. When the herd is gambling more, institutions isn't doing it. But there's people behind institutions, they're like you and me. The tell's there. It's really funny, I woke up yesterday morning, it's really sort of felt heavy, and I was just like, oh dear, the energy feels really shocking today. And lo and behold, we witnessed quite a downturn in the markets. So the energy's not good. It's fearful. People use these fear and greed indicators. It's extreme fear, so it represents what I'm saying. If you believe in that sort of thing. A few people I've spoken to recently are these blueberries. What the hell? You know, they're exiting, or have been exiting, long-term jobs, getting out, wanting to retire younger. Fair play, man. Getting a little pot of money together and then wanting to like risk and gamble to get more. So that they can be comfortable, whatever comfortable is and means to them. And I sit there and think, wow, it's another indicator. People wanted to gamble more, hence that's what you get. Days like yesterday, Monday and Sunday. That's why we're getting these fluctuations going on. People are getting desperate. Indirectly, they're thinking of ways out, but only thinking of ways out in fiat terms, which is fine. So we all are. But there's a risk. Pardon me. FOMO's a great abbreviation. And on the other side of that risk of people getting FOMO, you have other people looking to take advantage of that. And hence that's what you get. They'll start to see happening. The S&P 500. What the heck is going on there? Looks overbought. Everyone's with old knowledge are expecting a pullback there, a correction. But only seeing it in fiat terms. What if the fiat is knackered? What if there's no alternative to letting it come down like that? They're the questions you should be asking yourself. Why this time? Why this time? No one knows, of course. Lorry coming. Yeah, no one knows. But they're great indicators, because what I've personally learned is they're indicators. They're indicators based on people's emotions. Nothing more, nothing less. And those emotions have got narratives, they've got reasons. just like all of us have got our reasons. So when you start to observe sentiment in a different way, it gives you that little edge. And that little edge might be the difference. So hopefully, being on the right side of whatever the right side is. So traditionally, we are in some interesting times, I would say. Not that I've got decades of experience in this field. But I suppose with a bit of age and experience, you have a little bit of wisdom. And it helps you to identify when things are different. And they are definitely different. Fundamentally, to some, they're not. Fair enough. Fundamentally, to some, they are. The learning there is, it's not one way or the other. It's finding the medium ground. And you build a picture up yourself, not based on someone else's outcome. It's your own. And you start to take sovereignty of that. And you grow with that. Sometimes winning, sometimes losing. But you grow like anything you do in life. You grow. It's fascinating times, man. I've got into this at a really weird stage. Kind of happy that I have. So I'm going to be lucky with the weather. Like it's going to rain. So things like what's just recently happened, if you're into your Bitcoin and crypto, you've got to ask yourself those questions. Why? And obviously you do what you want to do, but you expand yourself. There's always a why. But the big question is not someone else's why, it's your why. Pardon me. Why am I feeling like this? Why have I observed this? Do I need to understand something better? I really think we need to apply that to our sovereignty of value and where money sits into that. It's a journey, man. It's such a journey. I've been walking this walk for years. Every year the farmer does the same thing. Repeat, repeat, repeat. Ploughs, plants the seeds, grows, fertilizes, harvests, sells. Repeat. Ready for whatever nature will throw at him or her, to keep repeating the cycle. It's what we do as human beings. And that's great why things are stable-ish, allow us to do those cyclical repeats. There's always a curveball. Something changes at certain points. And can you adapt? The farmer has to adapt. Has to be on the ball. And the farmer that's gone through that cycle where things are steady and stable-ish will reap that steady and stable environment. And the farmers that, I've got friends that have done this, and the farmers that don't recognise a change in environmental conditions end up lose their farm. Oh dear, no, I can't believe how bloody busy it is today. Yeah, they do lose their farm. And the ones that win, a friend that's a good example of that, educates the next generation on those changes to be prepared, look at alternatives just in case, all that stuff really. All that stuff. Finance is no different. Absolutely no different. The boomers, Gen Zs to a degree, have lived through relative stability to a degree. The boomers more. Conditions are changing. The boomers that recognise, pass it on to educate. The boomers that don't recognise, which is fair enough. The next generation don't know what to do with that inheritance unless they're educated themselves, and that wealth of knowledge and hard work has gone over time. And you can look at that phase through many things in life. We just happen to be at that change. And the boomers and the zoomers and the Gen Zs, Gen Xs, whatever you want to label yourself, we're all going through it together with different emotions, different philosophies, different ideas, all wrapped around value and wealth. Which brings me full circle, money. There's your cycles, and people will live within those cycles. To produce their narratives of how they see, there's no right or wrong here, how they see, they want to perceive it all and continue that evolution. which is why you see this explosion in social media. And why it's become so much of a fight between legacy what we've been used to, mainstream, to new stream. It's a new stream, a new way of getting information. And embedded in that, you've got people with their own narratives, their own outcomes, their own wants, their own challenges. This is what's going on in this change. And it's all based around money. For God's sake, man. I've never known it to be so busy on a walk. And it's recognising this, all this change, all this momentum, all this fear. It's a game. We're all getting played. And of course that's wrapped up around an economy and a way of financially working. Starting to self-destruct because it can never last forever. Something has to change. Which is why other nations around the world start to move their chess pieces to take advantage, possibly, of that big change. We happen to be slap bang in the middle of it all happening. I get the frustration, I get the unfairness of it all. What do? Bury my head? Or get excited in maybe recognising it and trying to do something about it. The information on these type of videos far outweighs, I mean it's great, got a nice bit of scenery today, the presentation and the narration. And if anybody watching these recognises that, you now understand what I'm trying to do. If you don't, sorry. Keep going. Walk away. Find another way. But at some point in your life, maybe not, I don't know, you'll have similar type of feelings and outlooks yourself. crazy, man. Everything I look at, so rare to just listen to a bit of maybe, hopefully, common sense. Stop the denial game. You're getting played. All the time you're in denial, you're being played by people that understand and want to push a narrative. And at the end of the day, all it does is feather the nest while they can. When you start to deep dive on it all, you start to think, wow, oh my God, I'm being played. It's a great wake-up call. A really great wake-up call. What would you do if you found out, and I know this for fact, well, that's a stupid thing for me to say. I don't know it for fact because I haven't witnessed it personally. But if you take things at face value, and I have mentioned this before, what do you think when you find out that somebody that's running one of the US of good old America happens to be in charge of one of their biggest mints? The whole business model is producing silver and gold pieces, and traditionally, gee whiz, man, another car. Let's let these go by.
Hello, good morning.
Hi, mate.
Is there a car park down here?
No.
Oh, so where do we park?
For what?
Dog walk.
Oh, crikey, if you just park on the end here, mate.
Yeah.
There's a little space here, loads of people park there.
Oh, okay, cool.
Because it's out the way of the...
Oh, so it's just park wherever you can find a space then, basically?
It is really, yeah. To be fair. And then obviously you've got the woods and whatever, it's lovely. Oh, lovely.
Thank you. Well, anyway, have a nice day. Thank you.
Yeah, no worries at all. Take care. Everyone's decided to go out in nature. That's a good thing. Anyway, what was I saying? Yes, one of the largest mints in the US. Their CEO, the whole business base model is selling, minting, producing silver coins, bars, gold, silver bars. Gold and silver is the way forward. And that business model produced lots of capital. What's one of his biggest holdings personally? Bitcoin. Doesn't talk about it. Actually revealed it on a podcast that I watched. Wasn't talked about for long. I sat and I thought, wow, that's amazing. All is not what you see. There's a narrative, there's personal emotion, there's personal everything behind everything. It's not to say Bitcoin's any better than silver or gold. I just find that fascinating. And that's what I mean, we get played, not intentionally. Maybe some people do it intentionally. And that's what I mean about the power of narrative. Narrative is an advertising, a way of advertising to sell a product, sell an idea. We're all used to it, see it everywhere. That's the narrative. That's why it's everywhere. That's why people have these massive budgets. That's why people get into debt to build their channels. Get into debt. Been there, seen it, done it. But you don't need to do that. All you need to do is strip away all the noise over time, build up a picture that makes sense to you, and away you go. All will be revealed. Oh, crying out loud, man. Everybody's. It's like a high street today. That's a message that's probably more powerful than anything else. And if you adopt that type of thinking for yourself, you'll quickly become more self-sovereign than following other people's ideas and narratives and buying into ideas, literally buying into ideas. Pardon me. Value is not a man-made product, thing. Value is you and what you do. You have to realise that it's not something sold to you. Maybe nature's telling you all the time when you go on lovely walks. I don't know. Seems that way. Bloody interesting, man. Every time I put on, when I have this outlook, this helps me negotiate myself around social media. You can tell. Why do you think on social media there's been this explosion of clickbait? Get people to watch what I've got to offer. It's the whole model. YouTube, TikTok, temptation. It's all there. Sell, 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 sell. Fair play, good luck. But it helps me, you know, it helps me think, oh my God. It's that visual thing. Exploitation of eyes and vision. How can we sucker people in? That's why you've got advertising on the TV that's worked for years. It's a visual thing. Suckers you in. Magazines, it's a visual thing. Suckers you in. Sides of buses. It's so in your face when you start thinking about it. Which ties into what I've always said. Everybody wants your money. They all want your money. That money's becoming bloody precious now. You gotta look after it. Learn about it. Learn about you. And that's what I'm comfortably talking about. For me, not advice as always, just an observation, man. Be farmed, or choose not to sit in that field and get farmed like there's no tomorrow. But you can't do that until you go on that journey. You just can't. Or be around other people with the same mentality. It's useful. There you go. That took up that walk. I hope that makes some sense, some logical sense to people, especially you young guys, ladies and gentlemen. I hope it makes some sense. Because with all the stuff that's bounding around, it's so easy to just bury your head in the sand and not care. But equally, there's every reason to care. 100% care about you and your future, your children's future, your grandchildren's future. There's possibility. Just fight for yourself. Anyway, we're getting on the busy road again. For anyone that's been around through the blog, thank you. Much appreciated. Anything that's, I want to challenge myself here. Anyone interested in my concept and ideas, go in the comments, give me some subjects to reflect on. Keep asking this. In the comments, and I'll incorporate that into my blogs. Just keeps it all going, really. Thank you for all the members that have stuck around. Really appreciate that. Really do, actually. I'm amazed. I've still got a few supporters of the channel on my crazy journey. It seems to be developing into something now. That's the beauty of it all. We change. And I'm not scared to change. It keeps me human. It keeps my feet on the ground. It doesn't tempt me to just keep going down a narrative that I don't believe in. Or it's not making sense to me. So thank you. See you soon. Bye.